I hate it. This, however, is episode 121 of the Download Q podcast. Today, all about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. A little bit on Xbox stuff that happened after last week's episode. We'll cover that. But mostly Assassin's Creed. We're pirating, lace up your boots, draw your sword, helm the mess. We are adventuring. Kyle, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. You turn on your Xbox, you log online. There's not even like you're on the dashboard homepage, just ran Assassin's Creed the past week. You don't even get that thing time to update.
Yeah. No, don't need it to. I flew to New Zealand, got in Tuesday, played or Wednesday, and I've been in the Caribbean ever since. I went to New Zealand and then went to the Caribbean. And it has been a great time. It is a fantastic game. I haven't been doing much else. I have been though. Once I finish at night, I played about an hour or two of Octopath Traveler. 0. That is my bedtime game, and I am very much enjoying it. So it's not just sailing. I am going into a nice little story RPG, and that's a really fun game. So we'll talk about that one more later. But I've been doing a lot of Black Flag, yes.
Man's doing pirate adventures, has his eye patch on, shuts it off, and it gets all cozy. Oh, little RPG game here, time.
Yeah, nice tea.
Look at my warm milk.
If that's only how I was, it's more like I'm like in the kitchen charging it because I forgot to charge the switch, and I'm just standing on the counter, looking at my back.
Raw dog and cheese from the fridge.
There's an energy already.
I love it. Also joining us, you know him, you love him, he's here plenty of times. Mr. Collector's Edition himself, Fran Saber from United We Nerd, joining us.
Oh boy. Yeah, so unlike Kyle, who's being a true pirate, I had to wait for my goods to be delivered to my doorstep. And guys, I gave you a little sneak peek earlier this week in preparation for this episode, but I'm not gonna show you now. I'm gonna wait until we get to the thick of it. But guys, there's a lot of treasures that I have right beside me right now, all ready to go. But no, yeah, just like you, Kyle, I've been on that pirate adventure for the past few days, and it has been a blast. It's the only way I can explain it. The only way I've explained it to my partner is like it's the meme of the Ratatouille meme, like taking that bite of like that really, really good food and just being astral projected into your childhood, which I guess for me is like my early 20s. And just like being astral projected into the past. And I can't wait. I love this game so much.
I'm excited to hear all about it, especially as someone who I've never played the original. I have obviously not played Resynced. Like, this era of Assassin's Creed was entirely outside of my grasp and what I was doing at the time. So I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts, changes, and just overall time with it. It's good. Resynced has been one of the few things this week, or recent time, honestly, where people are like just excited to be playing shit again. Everyone's hype about it. Everyone, like you said, reliving memories, reliving those moments is what we need right now with the way the industry is. We'll dive into in just a second. But this is the Download Queue. Each and every Saturday, usually Sunday today, we don't talk about it. We gather around at twitch.tv/downloadq to break down the latest in gaming news, what we're playing, and today, reviews when it matters to us. You can follow along in chat on Twitch or YouTube. Drop your comments. What you're thinking about Assassin's Creed, and we'll have them as part of chat. Since Brian's not here to do it for us, he's here in person. Before we get into that, though, we're starting with the bad for a little bit because we support developers and the games and the people who make them. We talked about it last week, 2 days before the hammer dropped. Layoffs at Microsoft have officially hit, with 1,600 people immediately affected, with a remainder of 3,200 throughout fiscal year 2027. have been terminated as of July 6th in a message from Asha Sharma on Xbox Wire, as she has been doing throughout the year, citing that business is not healthy today and they are operating at margins that are 3 to 10% lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses. Talks about the absolute mismanagement of hiring practices there, with leadership and management going 14 layers deep at times, which is absolutely batshit wild. We have updates to the teams who are affected, which, knock on wood, not nearly as bad as I was expecting, and honestly, everything's working out quite well for them. Double Fine and Ninja Theory, or no, Compulsion are going independent, similar to Toys for Bob. Compulsion and Undead Labs are purchased by an outside company. Another team has not been disclosed yet, will be announced later in the year when those teams are ready. And then Arcane is in discussions in France because they have to go through a whole bunch of hoops for this type of shit, which I was not aware of, and it's very interesting. Why don't we have that here? Yeah, it sucks. We're here. We talked about it last week. Obviously, this shit's bad. Obviously, it's not just an Xbox thing. This is an industry-wide issue, and it'll only continue to get worse. I pulled up because someone asked me about it this week for context. As I find, toss to you guys. Immediate thoughts. How are we feeling? As bad as you were expecting? Does this change your perspective on Xbox or Asha's next 100 days, as this is her second initiative since she's taken over?
Yeah, it definitely makes me feel different. I think in hindsight now, looking back, where all of Phil Spencer's time is not going to be remembered as success. Whether that be his fault or not doesn't really matter. It just is what it is. All these studio closures, you acquired them, and now you're closing them. There was someone I saw this week said, like, Undead Labs never released a game under Xbox. Xbox bought them after State of Decay 2 came out. So it's just like, it's a failure,
wild.
you know, and that's just what it is. And now the response being cutting out 3,000 plus people is just insane. It is not healthy for society. It's just people up top are thinking just numbers only, and that's not okay anymore. It's never okay, and we need to not normalize it. This isn't normal. People are making millions and trillions of dollars, and they can't fund someone to live even a little less. Like just even, you know, you can't even just lower the pay first before just cutting. No, it has to be dramatic because we're investing in other things. Yeah, I'm pretty annoyed and pissed. I could see myself canceling subscriptions eventually and being like, all right, fuck it. Like, it's just not what I want to support. I also think Game Pass is probably gone by the end of the year. I think that's where we're at. It's a total shift that they're doing. She keeps saying we're resetting to what? What are they resetting? They're not telling us because more shit's happening. I think, yeah, moving away from Game Pass, moving back to the old is going to be the way. They might be waiting for Gears of War E-Day. That is the first console exclusive. You know, that's coming out. Maybe they wait and see and say, oh no, we need Game Pass. Oh no, we can do it. Who knows? I don't know. I don't really care. They're chasing money, and I don't think the economy is going to help them. They're investing in AI, and that's not going to help them. They're helping this genocide. That's not, like, fuck it. Like, this is where we're at, man. Like, so I'm pretty down on it, pretty, like, annoyed with it. Yeah. And then she gets on the Federal Trade Commission board too, which is just like, oh, fuck that. Like, that's where I'm at with it.
Like a day after, like, they didn't even just wait either, right?
Yeah, no, it's
like you pretty much said like everything that I was thinking about, Kyle. Like, it's just all kind of like me and Joel were talking about this on Let's Get Nerdy this past week, actually. It's wild to think that, like, only just a few weeks ago, like, we were sitting here talking about how, like, what we were expecting for, like, their summer showcase to happen, and after it coming about and being like, oh, okay, cool. There's a lot of stuff here that we weren't expecting. There's a lot of stuff we were expecting, but it's like it was supposed to. We were leading into it as like this is the promise of what the 25th anniversary of Xbox and beyond is supposed to be like, and like this past 3 weeks has just been nonstop bad news after bad news after bad news, and kind of like we were saying, it's like, what are we resetting to? Like, it's been how many years? Like, Xbox One era came out in 2013. Somebody can do the math in their head, like how long it's been since then. So it's like, well, what are we resetting to? Like, Xbox hasn't been what we remember it being like back in the 360 era, back in the original Xbox era. Like, Xbox hasn't had a strong identity for a decade and a half at this point. So saying that you are resetting the company doesn't mean anything to us. Doesn't mean anything to us consumers, us gamers, us people that have been following the industry for years and years and years. It, like, anytime there's layoffs, it sucks. It also sucks the fact that after like few years of layoffs we've had, like this is the record setter. Like, yeah, they're cutting in half, but let's be honest. It's like it is over 3,000 people are guaranteed to lose their jobs by the end of the fiscal year. That's insane. Yeah. And I know it's very easy, and some articles that have been published in the past few weeks have kind of pointed out it's like it's very easy to have the face of Xbox be the target for all of the backlash. And like, let's be honest, Asha Sharma was hired, he put in this position to do what Microsoft wanted to do. Like this is a wholesale, just Microsoft does not understand that the situation that they're in is solely due to their own making. Is all of this stuff with AI, all of the GPU shortages, all of the RAM shortages is a large part done by them. And so, yeah, it is going to affect the bottom line as far as game development goes, because it's taking longer, it costs more, and also all of the bad decisions that they've made, like with Activision Blizzard, with like the couple dozen game studios that they acquired over the past few years. And then, like you were saying before, Jacko, like saying the 14 degrees of like management that they had to go through. and I know we'll get into it with the like the article from the people that are left over at id Software saying it's like, hey, we could have helped so many other people. We could have helped Bethesda, we could have helped the city, and we could have helped like other people within the company, because they are masters at software development and like they know what they're doing. But the fact that they had to fight through so many other people, now you see half of their studio gone now this past week. They're saying that they have just as many people as they had back in 2016 when they made Doom 2016. It's like, what are we doing here?
Which,
like,
jumping real fast, that statement from them, because I literally just pulled it up as you said, that again to me is another why. Why did you get so big? Because from Doom 2016 to Doom Eternal, while playing it, could you tell there was a difference in quality and scope? Like, those games are solid across the board. Having that much extra staff, I don't think made a difference. So that's another thing where it's like, it's with the management of, were we just hiring people to have a shit ton of people in the studio? Like, I get the argument for why do we have this many extra people if we could do the same stuff with what we had before with no issue? Like, it sounds shitty from a manager thing, but like, it's right up there with the 14 levels of management. Like, why are teams this blown up? especially
Right.
with how much game developers get paid. Like some of the shit I've seen, like you're going making more than healthcare workers and nurses and shit. Like that's a wild incomes to have for video games, which I get is a huge money making industry for the people higher up. Like the cost sink going into these projects, I can fully understand that, wanting to look back and be like, oh, this is huge investment in projects that fundamentally aren't that different than what we were doing 10 years ago in Doom's case.
Right. And the thing is, like as soon as last year, right? Like our thought process as just people outside looking in is like, oh, we should be worried about the game studios that aren't doing well because those are the studios that could be targeted for layoffs in the future. And this past week, you've seen with id Software, it's like you could be very successful and still get punished. So it's like nobody's safe at this point. Like we have gotten to that point that we've theorized and maybe like hypothetically thought of like back in 2022. Like it is happening now. It's like you have these studios that have done nothing wrong, that have all the capabilities in the world to produce good games with maybe like a big team or maybe even a little team and be successful, like Hi-Fi Rush. Another example from a few years ago, very successful game, had no advertisement whatsoever. It was a day one like shadow drop, was super successful. Studio closes, and luckily they got bought by somebody else, so they're still around. But still, it's just like there is a obvious big problem in Xbox, and the only way that they can see how to fix it is just to keep chopping at the bottom line and just keep going until they're satisfied with the numbers. And I don't think, me personally, I don't think Xbox is going to be satisfied with anything. Like we are going to just keep seeing
Microsoft. I think that's the
Microsoft
distinction there, right? I think that's the
Microsoft's not
corporate.
going to.
Yeah.
Correct. But yeah, I don't see them being satisfied anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
It
exactly.
is.
Yeah. Xbox could be doing good, but it's still not going to make AI money. It's still going to be its cost sink, especially a console. And that's probably going to go because they don't need it. Windows platform, they're going to lean into that, and it's fine. But
it is leaning into everyone being like, this is them setting themselves up to be sold off or like split off. Like, good. At this point, I hope they would get out from Microsoft's big brother, look over your shoulder, and like have more realistic goals and expectations of what you can manage as either a platform person or just a software output. Like, I think the disconnect from higher ups at Microsoft, and they look at similar industries and what they're investing and getting back with AI and stuff like that, and they try to have that as a company-wide issue when it's just not feasible for consoles and video games. Like, get out from under that, go off on your own, have more reasonable expectations, have a healthier community and people that work for you. Because right now, what they're doing, I mean, they're setting themselves up to be exactly what people want them to be. And what people have been bitching about the past 10 years of, you got all these studios, what are they doing? You know what they're doing now. They're doubling down on Minecraft. Asha said straight up, they are reinvesting because they feel like they have lost immense amounts of money from Minecraft, which I could see with the Roblox argument. Their Obsidian is being forced into a new Fallout. They're not doing any of the weird side stuff anymore. Call of Duty, there was the report of Halo possibly going to Activision to be made like a Call of Duty yearly installment, like wild shit. And now we're at that point of it is going to be focusing on your main core franchises to make money and get those major investments back out. Which, to be fair, is exactly what Sony's doing. You don't see them doing a whole lot of small, weird side projects anymore. It is Intergalactic, it is Wolverine, Saros, maybe, but they were even trying to push that as the next evolution for Housemarque and what they could do. Like, they're not spending time on the indie RC stuff and leaving that to be done by third-party developers.
Who knows? Maybe not printing discs in 2028 will will maybe raise the cap for like what they can afford to invest in smaller productions, or just anything worthwhile.
Yeah, just it.
The numbers I was looking for at the start of this conversation, I wanted to circle back to just show where we're at for dire of how fucked the industry is. Last year, gaming had a rough total of 9,175 people laid off. This year, as of June, end of June, beginning of July, we are already around 8,300-ish, which is 136% increase from where we were at this time last year. Again, Xbox sucks, PlayStation sucks, they all suck. This is an industry-wide issue, and anyone trying to paint it as a fuck you Xbox thing, yeah, it's a massive number, but it is, no matter what studio you're at, no matter what team you're working for. Unless you're Nintendo, they just gave all their people a 10% base salary raise because they're just living the dream up over there with Switch 2, but outside of that, I can only wish everyone the best.
Nothing bad happens on Nintendo Island. There is no war. There's no console war on Nintendo Island.
We got Tomodachi life. Living the dream over here.
Nice. Those numbers are crazy. And like, we also know jobs are not being created. We are not getting proper report on that either in our country. So, it's just like the economy, shit, where are these people going? It's just sad. It makes it hard just to want to engage and invest in this stuff. But then you get dope, cool games that are indie, and Mecha Chameleon, which just made those people, they don't have to work again if they didn't want to. And it's just a fun little thing. And you're like, man, games are cool. Like, that's cool. So there's stuff out there. I think that's what's just going to happen is we'll have, oh yeah, there's Xbox, there's Sega, there's Sony, there's those guys. They make the things like from stuff, yeah. And then there's just like other games, right? And I think those are just gonna be more of a thing that's around. But man, this sucks going through it. Post-COVID, crazy times. Crazy times. Fuck that. Execs can take a pay bump. Pay bump. Oh no, pay cut. I said they should take a pay bump.
Don't worry, guys. Because here at Xbox, we believe that sometime soon we will have over 1 billion unique players on our Xbox gaming systems.
Did she?
I don't even know what that means.
It was a quote. Did she say specifically players or just users? Because when I saw that, I was like,
I think she said users. Either way, very unrealistic number.
It's wild, but to me, I was like, it sounds almost like she's bundling in like the gaming side of things plus like the television and movie output, like people interacting with those and other forms of Xbox IP things.
Candy Crush.
Which still is wild. That's not happening, but.
I mean, I guess they would consider every time you boot up your Windows PC and like the Xbox gaming app just activates on its own. That's how it's like preset, like counts as a unique user, like logging in every day. But like, come on, last year like Xbox didn't even have like fraction of 1 billion like unique users, and it's like I don't know where they're. Like you could just tell where like the blinders are in corporate, thinking that 1 billion is an actual realistic metric that they can achieve.
That's what projections are, though. It's the projections say that. Who made them? We did, but we made the projections. So that's what they say.
And don't worry, when we can't make them, we'll just cut more. We'll just keep cutting.
Cut the people. Cut the people we hired, even though it's a crazy thing too. It's the people making these decisions have no repercussions, and we're not gonna see them have repercussions. They just go, okay, I guess I lose my staff I hired. Darn, I don't get to keep my staff. What? No, you take big pay cut or you go. You messed up. You lose more than 10 people, you gone. That's sad. Even that's too. You lose more than one person, you gone. Like, why is one person's job more important? I get why, but not really, especially when it's just telling people what to do. It's just crazy. Sorry, I went on a tangent though.
He's ranting. I say it's time to change course, steer the ship towards the second half of this show as we talk about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, released July 9th, is a 2026 action-adventure game developed by Ubisoft Singapore, remake of the 2013 classic Assassin's Creed Black Flag, sail the Caribbean as Edward Kenway during the golden age of piracy in this faithfully enhanced remake of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, featuring stunning visuals, upgraded gameplay, and new content. Pave your way to greatness at the dawn of the 18th century during the golden age of piracy, sail and plunder the seas as an ally and friend to legends such as Blackbeard, Anne Bonny, and Calico Jack, and uncover an ancient war separating assassins and Templars with the fate of everything the pirates have built hanging in the balance. It is out. You guys have been playing it. Top level thoughts before we dive in to the nitty gritty.
Who doesn't love sailing the seven seas with your favorite rapscallion Edward Kenway and the Jackdaw, going from island to island, finding secrets, treasures, fighting Templars, having tavern brawls, playing some checkers for money. Like, I said this before we started the show, but it's just like, this is like a game that people have been talking about for over a decade and with such reverence. And the fact that we can have this game again in a nice new coat of paint with some quality of life changes, slightly newer mechanics, like this is a top, like it was a top tier game back then, it's a top tier game now. Like,
Completely agreed. Can't say it better myself there. It's just kind of crazy how a 13-year-old game, how they're updating it and recontextualizing it. I think them saying resynced makes, I understand now. I'm excited to see a little bit of modern day stuff they have, where that goes and what that might mean at the end of it, because what they're setting up is like, interesting, but not much there. But again, how they're recontextualizing it makes a lot of sense, and it actually makes the story feel different from Edward's point of view specifically. I'm like, oh, okay, this feels different. I really, really like it. I always got stuck when you had to go to Yucatan to go do the first assassin mission, where you had to sneak around and go through follow Jason Kidd or James Kidd. I would always get stuck because you have to travel basically across the whole map, and I'd get distracted and go there. And then that mission was a drag. The mission felt so good. The environment felt so good. I was like, this is the same mission? It is. I know it is. I see the buildings, but it looks so different. It is the same map, but different. It's built up, so it's all one continuous map. But the way they layered it, the density of foliage and in the environments, the lighting, it feels like a new game. And when I get to a point where it's like, wait, no, I do recognize it, it's like I'm rediscovering something I've lost before. It is just, I just am in awe. Like when you're sailing around, it's like, oh yeah, it looks prettier, cool. But when you get into the environments and on the islands and doing stuff, like I said, when it's like, wait, I've been here before. It's different, but it's not. It's the same. Things have changed, but it's still the same. It's the nostalgia. I get what they said when they were like, we want to change it and update it to make it play like you remember it playing and be like you remember it being, because it's not the same. It's not like you remember it. Rose-tinted glasses are rose-tinted glasses, right? But Resynced feels like I remember Black Flag felt like back in the day, and it's awesome. They achieved something truly awesome with this remake. I'm very impressed.
It's being a remake, and I mean, it's what, 13 years after the original? And we've been talking about this remake specifically the past like 5, it feels like. It was one of the biggest unkept secrets in the industry, and when is it going to be announced? How has it been for you guys returning and the changes they've made in either gameplay? Does it feel like a new experience, or does it feel like you're riding the nostalgia train? Because like it's weird with Kyle, like True Achievements just did this past week, like history of your account for 25. So like Assassin's Creed Black Flag was one of the first things on your account currently. So it's like a full circle moment to now of where that journey began to returning later on in life.
I kind of touched on it a little bit at the end, but it feels like I'm rediscovering something I played. The cutscenes are like obviously up-res, they look better. The original ones are mocap, the new ones are not. It's typical Assassin's Creed kind of in-game cutscene stuff, but the dialogue is good in the new cutscenes. I really love Lucy Baldwin, I think it was. I really liked her introduction quest. Just the ending of that is like badass. I'm like, what a queen! I love her. Damn. I'm like, oh, Edward, have you met my father? Oh, yeah, I do. I did. She's awesome. But the old stuff, like, just got to Edward Peaches Blackbeard's, where he says that his famous line that the end of his journey. Just replayed that last night. I'm in this game. I forgot how much heart is in this game specifically, and it's just, man, story still holds up. It's like I said, nostalgia. Like I'm rediscovering something I lost.
So I want to preface. I have visual examples for this. So you can kind of see behind me right here, like that is like all of the Assassin's Creed games, the mainline Assassin's Creed games that ever came out, like from 1 all the way to Shadows, right? I've played back in 2013 Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, the very first Xbox One game that I bought. And I even was telling Kyle before we started this episode, like, I remember because this was a dual cross-gen game. So this came out on the 360. So because it came out on the 360, this came out a week early. So I had to pick this up, like this Xbox One version up before the Xbox One even came out. So I was just sitting at home looking at this case, just begging for the next week to come so I can go get my Xbox One at the midnight release. So when they announced Resynced and they announced the pre-orders for the collector's edition, of course, I wanted to go get it because I missed out on the collector's edition for the original. And it was one of my treasures that I wish I could just grab onto. So I tried my damnedest to scour the internet to find an available pre-order, and I found one. So this leads into what has changed for me, because I've always played the Assassin's Creed games on Xbox. However, this time I am going to the realm of PlayStation. So this is the first time I have ever played an Assassin's Creed game on a PlayStation console. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel that much different.
I was like, what are you going to say here?
So it's technically not true. There are minor differences to how the PlayStation feels, at least for me, playing from the Xbox. I honestly think that the button layout feels a little bit better. Because there's been plenty of times when for example, recently I've been playing Shadows. I've been playing on the Xbox, right? Just because I got big thumbs. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I got big thumbs. There's once in a while I'll grab my Xbox controller and I'll be fighting somebody, and all of a sudden my hand slips onto the start button and I go in the menu. But like where the DualSense, it's so nice because like the menu button is the big pad. Like your hands are pretty much spaced out, and so I'm not going to be fumbling everywhere. So for me, it's been a little bit more enjoyable just to hold on to. That being said, yeah, the looks of it is great. The changes, the one thing that surprised me the most, because one of the big things that they advertised on their big announcement was like, oh, we're adding in few of the modern things to kind of spruce up the gameplay a little bit. It's like you're going to have the upgraded combat, you're going to have the upgraded parkour features. What I was surprised by is that the parkour additions, like being able to free jump, having like the back and side ejects, those are optional. I thought those were going to be just part of the game, but you can actually go into the menus and toggle them off so you can have an original like Black Flag, like Assassin's Creed 4 experience as far as how you have Edward kind of like travel through like the landscape and like parkouring and all that. So I thought that was actually really interesting that they gave people that kind of freedom. The combat takes a little bit of getting used to, but I think like, tell me if you feel this way, Kyle, but like I really hope that Assassin's Creed Hex has this combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've made no secret that the more recent like RPG heavy like Assassin's Creed games I've been very hit or miss with. I love Origins. Like Origins I think is one of my top favorite Assassin's Creed games of all time. But then when it comes through like Odyssey and Valhalla and then with Shadows, I felt that for me, it took me a lot more to try to push through and get invested with the mechanics of the games, like having the armor sets, the weapon sets, all the abilities that you had to like kind of fine tune and figure out which ones you should upgrade and which ones would work best for.
For there's like a game
mission.
in the game at a point where you're just like, I'm stopping to pay attention to numbers, and I'm already doing that in Destiny. I don't want to do that in Assassin's Creed.
And I guess it wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't for the fact that like the maps are also so big and especially for Odyssey, like Odyssey had the problem of being so bloated, which is so much, and then you had to make sure you grinded out your character's level to make sure that they were strong enough to fight certain missions. And the one issue with Odyssey for early adopters was like once you got to like maybe between level 15 to 20, the XP grind started getting so severe that you pretty much had to stop playing the main campaign and start doing like side quests just to level up to the point you can continue. I know they changed that eventually, but still it was a problem for a while. So being able to come back to Black Flag, be like, no, you're Edward Kenway, you are a pirate who knows how to do naval combat, knows how to fight, knows how to kind of sneak around a little bit and just assassinate willy-nilly, like if you're good enough doing it, has been so nice. But then the combat is still a little bit of the modern where it's like you have to like worry about your positioning, and then your enemies have a little bit of the guard bar that you have to kind of break away at so you can chip away at them. Then once you break away at that, you can pretty much wipe them out. But what I have really enjoyed is the replacement for what used to be the ability wheel for the modern games has now taken some of Edward's abilities from the old games and made it more accessible and made it more like easy to go to. Like Edward has his pistols, right? And you have the aim and like go down the crosshairs and like shoot somebody. But then also he had his ability just to quick fire. Well, instead of being like, okay, I need to make sure that, I press the right button. It's like, okay, just like for me, it's hold down R2 and press the shoot button. And it's just like, boom. And he shoots the closest person to him. It's like, boom, 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 shoots them. Or if you're in combat, you can kick somebody away. And what my favorite thing is that you can sweep the legs of your opponent and just like assassinate them like right then and there. Like there's so much flow. There's so much flow with the combat that I've really, really enjoyed. I know I've been rambling a little.
Yeah, we can talk about combat real quick. Yeah, I totally the combat feels really good, especially with the RPG I think what they added to it, the light elements. There's different swords you can buy that have different damage. Some let you it's called the takedown. Once you break their shield, you're able to take them down. That's the instant kill. You're able to chain that to up to 2 on my sword, or some swords have more. That, and then pistols have more damage, and some of the gold ones have different effects. So you slow down time when you aim a bullet. So that's like kind of the RPG-ness of it. And I think that honestly adds a good amount to it. I think it's fun. I don't think it's in the way. I'm not worrying about my numbers. It's like, oh, this one's 2 more damage. Guess what? I bought the legendary gold one, and that's all I've been using that from the animus shop. I think I have Ezio's blade, and it's been fun because he just does a wide arc, and I haven't been worried about it. Right? I don't think it's an issue. I think I was going to say combat flows very well. That one, I can't parry for the life of me. I think I'm just trying to go too fast. But once you slow down, it's very methodical, just like the old game was. I feel like the old one was much though, like once you got to a point, you hopped in and you killed everyone. Like it was like no
100%.
stopping you. This one, you can be stopped if you're a little silly, but you can still hop on the ship when you're boarding it, press that trigger. Why? Take out 4 people. But if they have a shield up and they look at you, they can actually block the bullet and they won't die right away. I love that. So it's not like I'm clearing 4 people off the ship and I'm happy, I'm done. So. Or I think Edward had 7 guns at one point. Am I wrong about that? I felt like you were able to shoot.
He had a lot of guns. He had a lot of guns
in the first one.
It's wild.
Yeah. But the upgrading to your kits and your ship, that feels a lot better. That looks better. That RPG-ness of it. I think if this is what system they bring in the Hex and they improve upon it, that's going to be an awesome game. And they need to. Let's get out of the strict RPG-ness of it. Shadows was perfect. I love it. I can't wait to eventually revisit Odyssey for that Greek world, but no more RPG. This would be a fun combat system.
And just to kind of top off that conversation about just kind of like the RPG aspects they were bringing back into this, what I appreciate is like, it's not so much, right? Like you were saying, there are different weapons, and in the old game, you can unlock different like swords and stuff for Edward, and they're purely just cosmetic and just for the fun of it. For this one, it does add on like a little bit of aspects, but what I do appreciate is like the more recent games you have like I think it was in Shadows, it was like the charms, and like any other ones, it's like the little attunements that you can kind of give to your character. They do have those, the trinkets. They do have that in this, but they are, I don't want to say very minor, but they are not like these, oh my God, you've become a god kind of thing. It's stuff that did exist in the original Black Flag, but it's just now you can kind of dictate what little percentages that you can like buff your character based on how you play. And they become very accurate. It's like, oh, these ones are very combat heavy, so if you're really good at combat, these are the ones you want. It's like, oh, these little attunements can give you a little bit better sneaking ability in case like you need just a little bit more in that realm. And like for me right now, I have the narwhal horn that just kind of gives you I believe it's like on a perfect dodge, you can basically not use up an ammunition if you do a quick shot. Oh, so nice. Like you do a perfect dodge, just do a quick shot, and it doesn't take away ammo, which is great because like I'll be spraying those guns willy nilly, and then all of a sudden like all my bullets are gone, which is perfect for me. But then I also have the Blackbeard charm that I got from the deluxe edition, and then basically it's like if you were to do a takedown on somebody, the enemy's morale around you just starts to waver even more. And that's the one thing that I remembered from the original is like I come in, I'm taking out guys, and then there's like the lower rank people that will just start like backing up, and it's like, oh, I was not ready for this. And so it's just kind of adding on to that aspect of the original game, but kind of making it more customizable for people that do like the RPG aspects of the modern Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah. Yeah, my trinkets are like I get more skin or animal resources when I hunt an animal, and then more gold when I get gold. Like that's where I'm at right now in the game. I'm like resources,
which is great because that was like one of the things that was a big drag, was just like these resources.
all of them. Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
them.
You guys, I need so many bones. Have you found the skeleton crew?
No, but I'm on the hunt.
Yeah, I came across them. I was like, oh man, I need 200 something bones to go buy this. You can change the outfit of your crew, and there's a cosmetic that makes them all skeletons. So, got to do that. I want my skeleton crew, please. It sounds awesome. There's just a ton of fun little silly cosmetics like that. You can change the look of your weapon at any point too. It doesn't need to keep those stats, but it can, you know what I mean? Like, that.
Like the
So just
transmogs, yeah.
yeah, there it is. That's the word. Just a lot of small little things like that, which is the world feels so lived in, and I think that's way more than what it felt like in the past. Even the towns and such, it just is.
I was gonna
Cool.
say it sounds like, before you brought up the skeleton crew thing, which completely defeats the point.
Yeah, sorry.
It sounds
there
like,
if you want it.
yeah, it sounds like they found a way as far as like gear and stuff goes, because like you said, this Black Flag was before the big RPG reset with Origins. Like this was a different era of the series, and it sounds like they found a way to reset those sort of gearing options that you've had with recent games. Like I think like with Valhalla that I'm slowly working through on the side, and like, oh, you're just gonna find Excalibur and Mjolnir and all this other shit, like wild off the wall gear things. Where here it sounds it's more in world and focused on the context of where you're at and things besides the skeleton.
Like I know,
Yeah, it's way good.
like I know one of my favorite like swords in the original Black Flag was the gun sword.
Oh, I got that
And
one.
and it literally was just like, it was a sword with a gun in it, and it was mostly purely cosmetic to like there'd be some unique assassination, like final blow takedowns where like Edward would stab the guy with the sword and just like pull the trigger and like shoots him, and he's like very unique stuff like that. So it's more of that. But yeah, it's what the thing that I really have been appreciating is like, even though there is a little bit more customization in this, you are still playing Edward. Like your character is still Edward Kenway, and it's not like, oh, this is my Eivor, or this is my Cassandra, or this is my like Naue and Yasuke. It's like you feel like you are going on a ride. You're going on Edward's journey, and I think for me that's been like the most refreshing. Is just like, I am being told a story. I'm not the one that's telling the story. Like that's the Assassin's Creed that I grew up with, and that's the one that I appreciate. Appreciate being told a story, and I'm just kind of going through the process of that story being told to me. One thing that I will say that gave me that like, oh, I remember. I was like, I remember how fun this was. It was the tutorial mission of raiding like the first time you raid a ship, and it was like one of the bigger ships, and the little side objectives that popped up was like, oh, go cut down the enemy ship's flag. And for some reason I got like astral projected to like the past, remembering how much fun it was just to waste time going around taking down raiding ships and like cutting, like going on a zip line all the way to the top mast, like transferring over when my crew was like grapple hooking like the ship closer, and like hopping over to like their mast, taking down their gunsmen on like the top net, the top nest, and then going up to cut down their flag, and then dropping down to start like just wailing on people. Like that I haven't felt that way in a long time, and it just felt so good.
Yeah, no, the boat combat, the whole loop of being in a boat is just perfection. Jocko, you would see of Thieves. I wonder if this actually would click in a way for you that you actually would enjoy, or you'd be like, eh. you got so into Sea of Thieves and the boat stuff. This is just single player. You can actually just do it all yourself, and you don't have to leave the wheel to shoot.
No,
I wonder.
it's in the back
I
of my
wonder.
mind. Like I said before, I've looked at it. I just don't know if I'm ready to make that much of a commitment jump.
Yeah.
And that's possibly, like I mentioned briefly, I am still slowly working through Valhalla. I hop into it every few weeks for a couple days, and like it feels like a job I'm clocking in for rather than a game I want to like have fun and play.
Okay.
And I don't want that to happen with this if it was. But no, the pirate
That's
stuff
fair.
I've always been akin to. Like that's been my jam. It's what I lean towards as far as things. So there's a possibility, there's a chance. And looking through as you guys are talking through stuff, seeing that they've added, even like with boat combat, new options and secondary fires, and like expanding upon that from what sounds like already great experience and making it better this time around.
Yeah, all the upgrades
100%.
feel nice.
And even the additions of new characters that give you even more ship options is amazing. Hal, I want to ask you this. When you got the Padre, right?
Yes.
The Padre is one of the new characters that they made specifically for Resynced. And like, not to be spoilery, but like once you finish his like quest to have him come join your crew, he gives you the ram ability for your ship. Did you notice that they actually just reused the Valhalla ram sounds for this game? I just noticed that last
I
night.
recognized them. I thought they were Odyssey or Origins. I was like, I know one of those, like one of the games added that RAM, and I was like, oh yeah, it's just like it feels like one of those games, but did not recognize it as the same one.
Like, it's not like a big criticism, but I just found it funny that it was a little bit of like a reused kind of
Yeah.
feature in that.
I feel like that's like a fun thing more so than I guess it is technically.
No, yeah, it's just like, oh wait a minute, I recognize that sound.
If all their boats just make the same sound when they ram, even this big steel battle.
Like I just imagine it's the Animus being like, oh shit, we need a sound for this. Here, put it in the sequence.
That's actually makes a lot of sense and that would work actually. That's
It makes sense in lore.
That's funny. Yeah.
Speaking of lore, I just want to like, because we kind of brushed up against it a little bit ago, just saying how I know when it was first announced, like me a little bit, and I know a few other people were kind of like worried that, oh, they're just gutting a lot of the modern day aspects from the original to this one. Now that I've played it, I'm about like 7 hours in. I've been doing a lot of side stuff. I've been doing a lot of side things. But just playing through it now, it's not as jarring as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
The intro of the game did feel a little bit kind of weird because they pretty much just did the same intro to the game where it's like you and Steve Bonnet like sailing off, and then that was supposed to be the point when you jump into modern day. And so it was just like this weird long like sequence that didn't have music, and then it faded out and then kicked into the intro where you're coming back into the Animus. That was the only like weird part for me. Other than that, I think they have been doing a really good job of this is Edward's story. You are following Edward's story. Like, don't worry about all the extra stuff in there. But having the new characters, the new kind of story plot lines, and even what I appreciated, the leading up to, oh, there's these people that you can go find for your ship, like Le Padre or Lucy Baldwin and the others. Like, I just realized, like, oh, that means we get a little bit more scenes with like existing characters. Like, we get more scenes with like Adewale. We get more scenes with James Kidd and like Blackbeard. Like, and like I haven't gotten to that point yet, but it's like the idea is like, oh, we get so much more out of these characters now that people who grew up playing the game like love. And I think that's really, really interesting, especially as a concept that they could be doing this for other games in the future as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. Have you got into the Rift/Anomaly thing yet? Have you met Ego?
No,
Okay.
no, I have.
We'll
not.
leave it there.
I know about what's going on there, but I haven't. I ran into it yet.
Yeah. There's some. I'm reading things about dark animus, and I'm like, I don't understand what the dark animus is, but okay. So there is something going on, and that's where I'm excited. I'm still early on too. I just got my second little pop-up that said tutorial. Hey, come visit me, and I said, oh, this
like
late?
Revelations.
Okay, what are you doing? It's very
like Revelations players. Like, you've seen the Black Room, but have you been to the Dark Animus?
I don't know what is. I've missed some lore at some point. I played Shadows and I never left the Animus or was told I was in the Animus, so I don't know what a Dark Animus is.
It's their version of bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as Doom, you know? Like, hey, it's his Animus you knew him before, but now he's evil.
Oh man, we should be getting stuff soon with that.
Like the Dark Avengers.
Yeah. Well, now that
distracted him. We distracted him. I'll take what you think.
The story, Lucy stuff. I wish they had a little more of the officers and more to those quest lines because they're so good. It makes me just want more. I'm 2 sequences. You know how Assassin's Creed breaks them up. Left. I'm about 70% way through the story. I'm like 30 hours into this game. I've been playing like no other. Woo. It's been bad, but it's great. Yeah, I just wish there was more. I just think they cut off. I still haven't met the 4th officer, so that'll be cool whenever that pops up. Have to find them. Can't find that quest yet. So it makes me want more, which is a good problem to have, you know. But all the story stuff, the way they recontextualize it, when you open up the game, the menu, it's like you are someone who sat down and I'm in the Animus for the day. Let me go play the memory I want to play. That's what you're doing in this. And yeah, I'm not an assassin trying to figure out where the apple of Eden is through these memories. And I'm Kyle and I'm playing as Edward, reliving this story. And it's awesome. I like where they're going with it. I hope, I don't know what Ubisoft is doing, but like those angles of it are really good and such. Or intriguing at least.
With that, because it's not, obviously, as you said, it's not a direct one-to-one remake. There is the new stuff, multiplayer stuff's taken out, current time of stuff's taken out. There's new assassins and naval contracts, along with the 8 new in-game missions that expand Edward's story, include new voice work by his actor. A whole bunch of new stuff. Is that disconnect with getting rid of the current day stuff? Is that going to cause a problem with endgame? Like, does Black Flag originally directly tie into that, where you're making references to that like in the Animus sections, or is that going to be like not that affected this time around?
It's a little bit weird because where Black Flag originally sits, it's like right after Assassin's Creed 3. It was like the wrap up of Desmond's story, and it was really the start of Ubisoft trying to figure out where the modern day was going. So for a good while, up until Origins, like you were kind of like a nameless, faceless, like recruit that got brought into the Assassin's Templar War, pretty much. And so a lot of stuff was happening like around you in modern day, but as far as like you being the sole person that was being affected by it, it was kind of in a weird place, like especially with just Ubisoft's management of the story itself. Like a lot of the story at that time, back in like 2013, like late 2010s, was done away from the video games. It was done in other media like comic books, like they even did like a small audio podcast for a little bit. That was just a lot of like the filler story as they were trying to kind of navigate what to do with the games. So will it confuse new players that haven't really delved into the story as much? It's possible. Like, we don't know what they're going to be doing with Hex, if they're going to try to like navigate that in a new way. Um, for people that have played this before, it's like we know what happened like back then. So it's not so much of a disconnect, because like we understand that what they're trying to do with the presentation of Resynced. But you know, it's very confusing, because I don't know if you felt this way, Kyle, but like from Origins to Valhalla, it's like kind of felt like they were on track to do like another trilogy with the modern day story. Like we had a new protagonist. We thought we were going somewhere, and then when Shadows came out, it was just like, oh, never mind. We're just gonna ignore that for now, and then come back to it later, maybe.
Yeah, that one was odd. I kind of forgot about her. Layla.
Yeah.
I forgot about Layla because they did too. I'm gonna be intrigued to see to hear when you play that intro quest to Ego stuff, because that is 100% the modern day thing they're doing, and
Okay.
I think that does a good enough job. I think it does a good job, not a good enough. I think it does a good job in onboarding someone into that.
Okay.
When they story wise, it pops up on the backside of our hideout, so you'll just see a giant freaking beacon, and you're like, "What the hell is that?" That's what that is. So if you ever see it, go to it. But yeah, I think it does a good job of onboarding someone who doesn't know what's going on, because as Edward, you don't know what's going on, and then as you do the thing, it'll make sense. It assumes you don't know anything. It's where people are assuming they're hinting at the next game, Hex. There's some assets, not in that specific one, but eventually, apparently. So, yeah, because they do something.
They're doing something. My game
you do
be gaming.
You do an animus thing for sure, which is like, oh. And you see cheeks. I spoiler, you see cheeks. Not how you think.
Halo's in this?
I can't wait for Brian to send me the screenshot. He's gonna put it in the Discord. Oh yeah, I see the cheeks. It's not how you
The
think.
cheeks are real.
They're really bringing the ass
You'll
into
be like, wow,
Assassin's
that's
Creed.
not how I thought it was gonna show me. I was very surprised that the cheeks were cheeks. Anyways.
So far.
Yeah, and it's I'll go for it.
No, I was gonna change subject, so go ahead.
You cut out at the end.
Oh, I said I was gonna change. I was gonna change subject, so go ahead. What you were going on?
Oh no! Please change the subject up.
Jesus
I can just
Christ.
ramble more about the ocean.
Keep rambling.
Photo mode is awesome. Photo mode is great. It could have a couple more features. They can fix the focus. Please give me 2 focus. I want to control front and back, far and close, please. Other than that, it's okay. There's a bug. It doesn't work all the time, but it's okay. Photo, man, I've been loving seeing all the photos. They made a beautiful game. Now you can change subjects.
Perfect. What's your guys' time? We've been talking about the highs. Has there been any lows? Been anything that doesn't quite vibe? Being a remake, being brought in from the newer games, anything that caught you off guard or you're not too sure about yet?
Every now and then, very randomly, Edward will not grab, or Edward will jump not where I want him. And it's the most infuriating thing, because it's always, all right, move to the left and grab the thing to climb up and synchronize. And he jumps behind. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not what I pressed. It's just some weird physics. Or jumping onto my boat, he would jump and just fall, jump and fall. I'm like, what are you doing? That's it. Very random. That's the only bug. Some pop in. I don't care about pop in though. It's not dramatic. So
what I find funny is that is the most like Ubisoft Assassin's Creed thing though, because there's never been an Assassin's Creed game where like the parkouring didn't falter at some point. Like I've had.
But I've been able to recreate it in the same spot. So I'm like, that's a bug. You messed this up. There's something wrong with 100%. This geometry.
For example, for me, there's been moments where I would be perched somewhere. Like, let's say like I was doing some ship raiding and I was cutting down the flag. there'd be like a few seconds where Edward just didn't want to come down. Like he'd be like squatting there on the perch and being like, "Okay, Edward, let's go fight. Let's go fight the people on the ship." And he's just like, "No, I'm going to stand here looking majestic for just a few seconds." And for some reason, it's always happened to me.
I had to think about it.
Like he had to think of like, man, that was really cool. I'm going to sit here for a few seconds and just kind of do that. I don't know if this happened to you. The game has crashed on me once.
Yeah,
And was at a
PlayStation
very
effect. Sorry.
I mean, it's possible. Maybe it's Xbox trying to like poke, like, how dare you play on the PlayStation?
I have terrible luck with mine. That's the
Yeah.
only reason I say it. Like shit, like David Diver, I had crashed like 3-4 times on my PlayStation, which is bad.
Yeah, like the instance for me, it was when I was first in Nassau, and it wasn't even like a game. It wasn't even like a story, like beat or a gameplay. It's like I was going through the town, and I found one of the like the Helix like pickup items.
Credits, yeah.
And then I walked towards it to pick it up, and then the game crashed on me. But that was the only time it ever happened to me. Like one thing I will say, like I know we're supposed to be talking about what we hate. I do love that they've changed the load-ins, that if you were to die or if you were to fall off of something or whatever, it loads you in like right where you were. Because I vaguely remember back then, like it would load you in like a little bit farther back of the mission you're doing. So
it's more forgiving.
It's more forgiving this time. But I will say, I don't know how you feel about this, Jacko, but for me, the movement feels a little bit looser than I remember. Like for me, like Edward's like, you know, he could be zooming at some points, and it's like, okay, Edward, no, I just want you to slow down.
Yeah, it definitely feels closer to like Noway in movement. He's very quick and agile. I think that's just the update to the movement system and parkour. I think that also leads to like the combat issues where it's like, man, you have to slow down. At least me, I have to slow down. I'm going too fast. He is like, everyone is a little quicker in this. I think not as sluggish. But there's time. I don't think I've had times where I thought he was too much of that.
Okay. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just too frantic and I just want to kind of get through everything as fast as I can. But
like when I'm in like a room, like small room running around, like it's like, okay, hold on, let's slow down, Edward. Like, and then like, why are you running? Walk forward, turn the stick. I think that's where it happens, right. But in small spaces, yeah.
Yeah. But like
he's not made for small.
He's not made for small. No way. But like
put Edward in the box.
I mean, as far as that goes, like there's, like I said, there's never going to be an Assassin's Creed game that doesn't have a little bit of like Ubisoft jank to it.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some stuff online. It's like some weird bugs where it's like the first mission you're at with Roberts, and it's just like the whole like cutscene is underwater for some reason, and like
so funny.
Like everybody is just like the bubbles are coming out of their mouth, and it's like everybody's just kind of there. And it's like, okay, it's like, sure, why not?
Yeah, those are fun. They're like Bethesda bugs, you know. It's I had one where over the course of the cutscene, the ship was sinking, and then all of a sudden water started pouring over, and it was like, oh, wait, we gotta go, you guys. And they're like, oh man, such a day. I'm like, this ship's sinking, we gotta go. So it's stuff like that's funny, and it's also like in-game. I believe that would mean it's an in-game cutscene because it's rendering it in-game, and the physics are still reacting to the boat. It's just yeah. I think that stuff is cool.
or it's like you're having a cutscene on a ship you just battled, and everything is on fire around you, and like the characters start catching on fire, but nobody's dying. It's just like everybody's on fire.
It's just
like that's happened to me. That's happened to me like once or twice. I was like, oh, that's funny.
I don't think I've noticed that. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah. So like, as far as like anything that's super consequential, like I can't really think of anything that's really hindered me playing the game, which I guess is a good thing. Like history be shown that there's been very, very big problems in certain Assassin's Creed games. Like I was one of the people that played Unity and got locked out because I couldn't press start on the start menu.
Start menu, man. They're like, no. Thanks for the money. You can go.
It's like you pre-ordered this and got it day one, but sorry, brother, you have to wait a few
Thanks
days.
for the money. It's crazy. I did forget when I first booted up the game. So I went to New Zealand and did that. So this was, I mean, the game was out, but no patch out. I did have a bug where I lost all my audio when I took a screenshot. And then I exited the game, went to the captures to manually upload it because I just wanted that at that moment. And then I lost my audio. So, but other than that, no other issues. Doing cutscenes, doing all the stuff. Yeah, like Stede Bonnet when you first get to Havana, it was just all quiet. I was like staring at it. I'm like, wait, I'm missing something. Something's off. But no issues after that. No, it just, other than that, it's been completely fine. Taking screenshots, taking captures, going in and out of the game, quick resume, all's been fine.
And I mean, there is still room for tweaks as well, because you actually just reminded me that like for me, like there is some sound things that I think they can like tweak upon. Like whenever I like open up go full sail on my ships, there is this weird kind of like mechanical sound, like just kind of in the background. It's like it feels like the sound is being kind of muffled by like something like metallic in a way that just seems a little off. But I think like that's nothing like a little tweak and like an update can fix. But it's not something that's like super like bothering me. It's just kind of something I've noticed. It's like, oh, maybe just a little tweak here or there, maybe in the future can fix that. And like,
and this is where the game's at.
That's where the game's at.
Could we have little tweaks, please? Yeah, no, it's impressive. I mean, it's a 13-year-old game. You would hope it wouldn't be full of bugs, and Shadows was really good too. So that was that released pretty well. It wasn't Unity with the teeth out or whichever game that was.
Oh no, it was Unity.
Loading. It was just eyeballs and teeth.
Yep.
Terrifying. Brian, your side of the fence. Joel could not be here today. Talk Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but left us some questions. Something I want to break into multiplayer. Big part of Assassin's Creed games back then, I think, being introduced in Brotherhood, which was like 2 or 3 games before 4. Did you guys play multiplayer back in the day? Good experience? Do you wish it was back? Missing any part from being not here?
100%.
Go for it.
What'd you go for it?
Like, I was like, wasn't it? I think it was kind of funny. Maybe it was someone else that was like Mecha Chameleon is like an evolution of like the old hide and seek Assassin's Creed modes. And then like if there was an Assassin's Creed hide and seek mode, like it's like, man, that actually could have hit, like something that simple. Just your goal is to hide and your goal is to find me, and just what you can build upon that. Like I remember doing the canals in Venice. That's like really the only one I played. I don't think I did Black Flag. If they had multiplayer, I don't know. I did not play it. But I remember like doing the Rome stuff and playing it, and that was fun at the time. And the little meter to be like, oh, they're right there. I gotta find them. They're hiding in the crowds. Cool ideas. Cool idea. I could see that working today in modern day.
So,
what was the Black Flag like? Multiplayer.
In my opinion, I feel like the Black Flag version of multiplayer was probably the culmination of like the past 2 games, because like you're correct. Like the first one was in Brotherhood, and then they tweaked it and modified it for Revelations. But I feel like once, actually no, there was also I'm trying to remember if 3 had multiplayer. I can't actually remember. I think it probably did, but like I feel like for when Black Flag came out, I feel like that multiplayer was like, this is what we've been fine-tuning for the past few years to get to this point, and having the multiplayer feel very like slick and very like everything was functioning as it was, and like you had the proper adjustments to make it feel like a very fair, very like you didn't feel like you're at a disadvantage at any moment in time, kind of gameplay that I just really, really liked. I feel like that kind of gameplay, like I know a long time ago they said that they were trying to think about bringing it as like a solo thing to like when the Animus like dashboard kind of like was being talked about.
Yeah, you got Skull and Bones.
Oh no. Oh no. But no, like it was so cool, and I don't know if it's still available. I think like if you have an old copy of Black Flag, I think the servers might still be active. You can go and play it still, kind of like how the Last of Us multiplayer is still active if you have like a PS3 copy. Or actually, no, I think the PS4 version also had multiplayer as well. I can't. Either way, like you can still technically go play it. There's people playing it right now, but like I felt it was so interesting, like how they incorporated which game it was. So like there's characters that you could see in the certain games. Like I remember at some point in Black Flag, like you just got the opportunity to play as Blackbeard in multiplayer. And so you just have a bunch of Blackbeards just like walking around like on the map, like during like a game. And it was like such an interesting just like time in Assassin's Creed. And I know
they had multiplayer from 2 or Brotherhood on, so 3 had it as well, and that's where they had like the cooperative Wolfpack apparently mode, which then got put into the Black Flag. But yeah, so every single one had it from that point on.
Yeah,
Brotherhood.
Okay, it's so weird because like for 3, it's like 3 is like a very. I remember the single player more than the multiplayer. Maybe it just wasn't in my radar.
Didn't do that one, yeah. Yeah, it was more co-op too. They added co-op modes to that, so it was like 4 assassins going in doing a thing together. So possibly, maybe that's why it blurs.
So it's interesting because Unity had that as well, and I felt like as buggy as Unity was when it came out, I felt like the cooperative stuff
that was so cool.
That was very interesting and cool, and like the fact that.
Especially in that city. It felt like so. I just hopped in earlier. I hopped back in earlier this year, so it's like fresh on the mind. But being in that dense city, it just kind of felt like, oh yeah, someone would join me on this mission. It's not out of pocket. It's not weird to have. Oh, like no, like you're just part of a crowd. Like the city's dense. I don't know. There's something really special about Unity. Combat sucked though. I really had a hard time trying to play it again. I was like, I have to relearn how to do this. What a weird game that one is. Like. When you compare all of them together, like very unique combat.
So like if they were to do multiplayer now, I could see them if they were to make it like a solo multiplayer like software. Like I can see them doing multiples of like aspects of different each. Like you can have like the PvP like original Assassin's Creed multiplayer style games where it's like you're hunting down like the enemy team and like trying to disguise and like use the abilities that are in the game to your advantage, and also have some of like the Unity kind of like cooperative missions like assassinations or just like I remember
PvP extraction shooter.
Because I even remember in Unity, like you were able to make your own like clan of assassins, and like you can compete.
Oh yeah.
You can compete in like assassination missions, or you can compete in like parkour obstacle trials with like other teams, and like I could see that working. Like shoot, they can even do like how like Call of Duty does it, where it's like each season is like a new like Assassin's Creed game that gets kind of like incorporated into the multiplayer, and then like once a new game comes out, they have like their new season that's like, oh, this is the Black Flag season. It's like, okay, well, the next season is the Assassin's Creed Hex season.
Yeah.
And have stuff like that. I could see that working, but it's just kind of up to.
They'd shut it down after a year.
Will Ubisoft have enough glue to hold themselves together long enough to make it viable?
Yeah, I wonder what their player numbers were because they moved away from it. So obviously people weren't touching it enough to justify making it. But I think a game like something niche and specific like that has a place in today's world. You know, I think there could be something. I doubt they do it though, unfortunately. But what they probably will redo is remake something.
I was gonna say, we've gotten Black Flag Resynced. We've gotten Assassin's Creed 3 remastered. We've gotten Ezio Collection. multiple different smaller remasters, nothing on a scale of Black Flag. Where do they go? Do they continue with remakes?
Ezio.
Does anything else warrant
With
the
Ezio,
full
do it.
remake?
The Ezio trilogy.
I mean,
do it.
You know, obvious answer aside, like Assassin's Creed 1, like original, like I think would benefit the most.
That's the most
obviously.
interesting one.
Because like it's so old at this point. Like it's a good game, but it's just like at this point in time, it's like a lot of people agree, like it's so hard to go back to it. Like it is so bare bones and so just like of its time at this point that it's like I could
I feel
see like
that, I mean, it'd be a whole new game.
yeah. Like that's the thing, because like Mirage was supposed to be like the anniversary game that kind of harkens back to the aspects of how like original Assassin's Creed felt like. So I feel like they could kind of take, in a way, can kind of Uno reverse that and just like kind of take like what Mirage was and then just add on like the new aspects of what they've been doing for Black Flag Resynced and just make a new like Altair game and like just kind of revamp that a little bit more.
I wonder if you could
go for it.
have it be in AC Revelations. You just revisit and play as Altair there. Because like that first game, I was watching someone play it, and it just is very kind of bare bones, very straightforward. You just go do the mission and you come back, right? That, and if you make it, it's a whole new game then. Unless you just remake that, I feel like, I don't know.
I mean, it would be like resynced, right?
That's true, but I feel like Black Flag Resynced is just the old game, you know, too, just recontextualized in a lot of way, remade. But like, if you just remade it in the same vein, I don't think it would hit the same way. So much of it is the modern day element. So how would you even do modern? Would you do modern day in AC1? A remake there? I don't know. Yeah, I am personally, I am just not as interested in the remake of 1 at all, which is really interesting. I think the story and the character Altair has like, I think there's something there, but I know there's something about that first one where I'm like, that's cool, it's of its time, but Assassin's Creed started with Assassin's Creed 2. That's where it really, to me, found itself. And
that's very true
from a gameplay perspective too, because yeah, it was very like bare bones specific, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
that's the one that needs a remake though, right? If we're talking about what would be remade, because it's
so
like I've decided.
This might be a controversial take. I have no idea. The remasters that they did of like the Ezio trilogy and like Assassin's Creed 3, I don't like them at all. I think
they're okay.
I think they had no idea. The team at the time had no idea how to remaster those games, and it ended up making it look worse than the originals. The lighting was like a really big issue. Some of the character models were a big issue. At least for like some of like the side characters, like had a really bad, like the texture and like the way that they kind of went about it was really bad. So for me, I honestly would love to have another shot at 3. Like if we're already doing a resync for Black Flag, I feel like it makes sense to just do a resync of 3 and then kind of maybe add in more aspects of happen to Edward. Because like picture this. Like here's my pitch, Ubisoft. Like take it for free as long as you give me a copy of the game when it comes out. Like with the more context that we're getting for Edward and Resynced, bring that over to 3 and have like this whole, because spoiler alert for anybody that doesn't remember what 3 was, it's like the whole first hour of the game is with Haytham, and it's like we see like the slow build of like the surprise reveal of like, oh, Haytham's the bad guy in this game. But like maybe we can finally get some of that story of like what happened to Edward post his pirating career, like towards the end of his life when he was like a fully in the Assassins like Brotherhood at that point. And let's kind of get more of that context as to like how Haytham got to where his point is, so that once we get to the actual end of the game for Connor, like, even though it was a really good ending, like I believe like Assassin's Creed 3 had a really good ending, like it will even add on more to that battles like of Connor versus Haytham, and it's like like all of the family like trials and tribulations like culminating to that one point in the game, I feel like would be put to a whole new height if we just get a little bit more context in the beginning about like Edward and Haytham's relationship. And like, how does that break down at some
Yeah,
point,
you forget that they have a relationship. Like you forget that they just not touched on like a fun little, oh, that's fun, they're related. Not like it actually meant something.
It was like a little blip in the Assassin's Creed 4 novel. And it gets put there and it's like, oh, here's a little bit of, context. And it's like,
yeah,
but let me see it. I want to see it. I want to live it. I wonder
what the new epilogue stuff is going to be with Edward, if that may point to it or whatnot. Remaking 3 makes sense because they do have ship stuff in there. You can expand upon that, make that a little more not, Black Flag like, but maybe they do let you sail around a little bit, make it more open world. Because my issue with 3 was you jumped around so much through time periods, and it felt like you were just like doing the greatest hits of the revolution, which works. But if you add more context story-wise, potentially, that could be cool. That'd be a good remake. America would like that.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's true. Actually, Revolution, never mind. Yeah. Yeah, no, I still just want the Ezio trilogy. Walking around Rome with the like I was walking around Havana in Black Flag Resynced, looking at the cobblestone, looking at the tile, and I'm like, man, just clean up this tile. Give me just give me some of that. Yeah, I think that Ezio trilogy. I don't like the remakes either. I haven't gone back to them. The gameplay is just rough. If you can update the gameplay combat to this, what's in Black Flag, and just retell that Ezio story, and not make it 3 games. Make it it's one game, right? And it's just boom, just
Jesus.
the whole story. I mean, you cut out some of the missions that were just go here, come back, go here, come back. Like you can fine tune it, because taking on the project of 3 remakes, no, that's like 12, 15 years. No. Retell the story, but do I think they do it? No.
You know what's funny? The remasters are actually better on the Switch.
That makes sense. Which runs bad.
What I found out a long time ago, which ended up leading me to buying the Ezio trilogy and Assassin's Creed 3 on the Switch, was that they didn't do the same things they did with the console versions. They actually just took the original game and up-resed it.
Oh yeah.
So like you were getting original Assassin's Creed 3 without all of like the lighting issues and like the texture issues. Like you're getting some of the original issues it had, but like it still runs and looks better. Like,
yeah, which is better than like messing it up.
Yeah. So for any kind of remake or resynced, like anything before 4, because we already got like a 60 FPS update for Unity and for Syndicate. Like they don't need a remake. And like the modern games are still too new. Like they don't need remakes. So like anything prior to 4, I think is due for an update.
You make it. It's for the old stuff. It makes sense, right? Like even you talk about 4, because after 4, it's Syndicate. Like I just played that for the first time like 2-3 years ago. Like that feels relatively new still and part of this generation. Like at that point, you're just digging for easy outputs. But that original 3.
I mean, even like put like Rogue and Liberation on the table. Like how awesome would it, like they did an HD update for Liberations, but like what if they made a wholesale remake that it's not like they tried to take this PSP game and like make it work for the Xbox One, PS4 generation. It's like let's actually make it a legitimate like main title that it should have been to begin with. Like there was a lot of interesting concepts in that game that nobody will ever look at just because it was on a PSP, and like barely anybody bought a PSP back then, and like nobody cared about that game because it felt like a side game. Like let's make that.
And it had a female lead. Meh.
But it's like it had crossover content with 3, and it's like it was an important enough game to like be considered part of like the main story without it being the main story. Like, so let's get that one like a resynced.
Yeah, that's like, the one I want. That's a great one. That's I never played it, didn't have a PSP. That's something that's quote locked. I know it's not, but it's like locked to that essentially. No one, that would be one to deserve it. Especially you already are in a similar ecosystem with, you know, Black Flag. So
Annabelle de Grand Prix needs the respect.
Yeah.
That the others got.
I think it was before we were recording, before Jocko joined us, but I was saying like we were supposed to be getting a Assassin's Creed set post Civil War. In the next, like after this or shortly after, the Hex or next, like at some point that was coming. And playing parts of this game and getting the story that's hitting some of the lines, I'm just like, man, Ubisoft could have really had something special there. Could have really explored something really special with that, but no. We can't remake that, but maybe undo that decision.
It's like imagine if we're able to get stories about like Master Assassin Connor Kenway or Master Assassin Annabelle de Grand Prix, like as you're come up in like the Civil War era. It's like that's one thing I always wish that they would come back to. Like I feel like, especially for like Connor, like he was such a character that I know some people didn't vibe with just because it was such a tonal shift from Ezio. Like I felt like it was such a shame that he was like such a one and done character. Yeah. Like they did not do enough with him. Like even though a lot of the characters nowadays are technically one and done characters, but I feel like they stick around much longer than he did.
Yeah, so it was like the end of 362. It was like a weird gen. I liked him. I just didn't like the jumping. I didn't like the story jumping around so much. But I mean,
that's fair.
I also was like, just when did that come out? I was still deep into research in American history.
Like 2012?
Oh yeah, I was just coming out of my like deep dive, going to Washington D.C., research, just learning a lot about America, that history. So that game hit, and I was just like, oh, we're just hitting every big battle. We're just, oh, now he's here, and now he's here. Now looking back, I'm like, that's not that weird. But at the time, I was like, oh, you're just doing the greatest hits. Okay, like I want to be in between the battles. I want to know what's happening in between. And I was that level of nerd.
To wrap us up here for Assassin's Creed Resynced, Ryan, you already brought up your moment of climbing into the crow's nest and being astral projected back. I want one more of your guys' favorite moments so far playing. Something that you went through and you're like, damn, this is the sauce. This is what I've been waiting for on this journey.
Mine's very simple. It isn't really like consequential to like the game story at all. But it was the first moment that I got into the open seas and the crew started singing a shanty. Like it's such a minimal like thing, like textually to like the whole entire game as its own. But it's like just being able to be kind of like in that moment again and be like, hell yeah, dude! Like this is my crew. This is that. Also, shout out to the person that decided that, hey, maybe we should give like a shanty like audio select wheel, because before it was just a random opportunity, but now you can actually have a drop down menu that has an entire wheel of all the shanties you collected. You can go select the ones that you want to play the most. That's really cool. That's really good. But no, it's just like Assassin's Creed 4 was always had such great environments, and come back to it and being able to see it on a grander scale, like more detail, more love put it into making this look even better than it did before, really adds on to the aspect of being in the Caribbean, sailing from island to island, going, fighting, finding secrets, diving. I got one, and I'll pass it to Kyle. In the original game, diving in the water felt very lackluster. It felt very, like, for me, diving was like one of the things that I kind of didn't like about Assassin's Creed 4. It was the least fun for me in that game. Okay. The fact that now you can just dive underwater in the ocean and there's just an environment down below the water, like minus going on the diving bell, which is kind of like the only real time you could ever really dive under the water in the original. But now you can just swim into the ocean, dive underwater, and there is stuff to explore. Coral reefs, like shipwrecks that are underwater, like treasure chests that sunk into the bottom that you can discover and find secrets. Like, that really has kicked up this game a lot. Like, it has encouraged me to, like, oh, I just got into port here. Let's dive underwater real quick and just kind of see what's around, and like maybe I'll find some hidden treasure or some hidden trinket that I wouldn't think to look before. It's like that really did open up a lot more possibilities for exploration in this game, and that's kind of why I really hope they do more resync stuff like this in the future, just because it can add on so much more to other games that they added on to this, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah. The dynamic weather we never talked about. That's really cool. I hate when a freaking water spout spouts up behind me and it chases me. And I'm like, stop following me. It's just, and like they will wreck you, man. But it just visually, it looks phenomenal. The different, water spouts, hurricanes and such there. They used to be like pretty happen on like cues and scripts. In this one, it is dynamic. They can happen whenever, however, and such. I've had one just completely go away because I was like going into a mission. It popped down, hit the mission. And whoop, sorry, we're not supposed to be here. And I was like, nice, I control weather.
Oh,
but yeah. I had to mention that real quick because there's a lot of moments just like, man, this looks real. And especially like when it stops raining and it's quiet and you just hear a little bit of wind in the sails. I was like, holy damn, guys, that's some good stuff. Even when on land, you're walking in a city, it's quiet or it's rainy, it's loud. And then right moment after, it's like, this is exactly what it sounds like when it's done raining. And then you hear it fill back with life. Sound starts happening more as people come out of the homes because it stopped raining. I was like, game, that's cool. Really cool. So that's, I think it's the world being well lived in. They realize that very well. I think that is just what kind of takes my breath away a lot in this game. I'm like, oh, dude, game's phenomenal. The lighting, the fog, the people, it's just, there's a lot to it that make it feel lived in. Same with the coral reefs when you jump on that adds. Seeing all the fish swimming in the ocean when you dive in is just like, oh, that's cool. It doesn't, it blurs the lines a lot and it's really, really good.
you just reminded me like about the weather and like sailing like ship, and like I remember one of the first battles I got into, it was demonstrating the weather and how it can change, and like kind of saying how like the typhoons were coming in and it just became
the
chaos.
waves.
But I got lucky because there's also rogue lightning strikes can happen when you're in the ocean, and I was struggling to fight this one ship and I wish I captured it. But then as I shot my cannon at there, all of a sudden just a rogue lightning strike hits one of the ships and just like damages it severely. And I was like, all right, guys, let's go. Fire all the cannons. They're weak. Let's go. Let's take them out right now. It's just like that. A little bit. It's a little bit of extra that makes this game so much better.
Completely agree. Yeah.
To hear it possibly jumping in. I may have been swayed. I may try it out. take some time away from
Think
my
you should.
daily schedule here. But with that, we'll end us off.
Oh wait,
Oh,
go on a rogue wave and they're in a fight and ships are chasing you. When you go off the wave, look behind you because the ships will go off the wave and they'll take flight. They will jump into the air and like land down, or sometimes they
Oh.
get to go through the wave and still like get a little bit of air. But I was like, I saw that. I was like, oh, I gotta take photos of that. I thought I did. I didn't. So I was just looking. I was like, oh man, I gotta get that. There's like little things like that where it's like, that's not realistic, but that's fun as hell. Just like, boom, this frigate just like taking off and just slamming into the water. Like, yeah, you're gonna pick up this game. It's good. Pick it up. This is a great game. This is like a 9 out of 10 for me. 4 out of 5. The 5.
Also-
It's very good.
Also, before we wrap it up, I need to justify my $200 purchase, and so
oh yes, your show and tell.
Please
oh
show us.
Captain, my Captain
Oh my god, it's so cool.
is a
That's a
decent size
Big thing. Whoa.
to the 360. Spare no expense on detail.
Is the flag what material is the flag?
So it's
Like a hard cloth?
It's
plastic?
yeah, it's like a hard. It's like a plastic that has a little bit of flex in it, but it's
Okay.
the kind of plastic they've been using for a lot of their like fabric material recently on like some of their
Oh, okay.
on some of their statues. Like
Yeah.
I have the Basim from the Mirage collection,
Oh, cool.
and then the Aya one that they had for their anniversary has kind of the same similar kind of like I don't know how well the camera can pick up. You can see like there's like the faux
Yeah.
cross stitching kind of in there, but it's still like a hard plastic, but it still has a little bit more like flex to it compared
Oh, I
to
bet it's
like
it's
the
3D
leather.
printed.
It's possible.
Because like
But,
you'd
like-
be able to get that doesn't matter.
But,
Yeah,
like,
that's cool. Yeah,
this
I was
is a
like,
beautiful.
It's very beautiful. It honestly looked like
Beautiful.
you get those videos of the guy who puts starch on his denim and he tries to put them on and they're just like solid
Oh
bricks.
no.
Okay,
What?
yeah, that's what I was like. It looks like starch denim. I was like, what's the material? Anyway, yeah, my algorithm gets
Yeah.
weird. I'll send them
no,
to you
but-
guys. Don't worry.
Please don't.
Okay. All right. But no, like for me, the statue alone is like worth it. But like the other stuff that comes with it was like pretty cool. Like obviously, like it comes with the steel book. I kind of sent you guys a picture of this
Yeah, that's cool.
like before, and it has like some writing on it. It's like, "Don't save me a spot in hell, Shanker. I ain't coming soon," kind of stuff. And I won't go like into super detail, but it's like they have like the Edwards like journal that I
Like a
haven't like
journal.
read. I haven't read through yet, but I do plan to, and it has like a lot of like good
Oh, there's
illustrations.
stuff in it.
Oh, 100%. I'll just.
Oh, I
flip
thought it was
through
like
a little bit.
a journal for you to use, like something.
No,
you
no, no.
write in.
This is Edward's
Oh.
journal. This is like his.
Oh man, the
Like,
cool.
there's like a nice illustration of like Ottawale. And
Oh,
it's like a
what?
lot in his own like words and writing. It's just like a whole bunch of different illustrations.
that's
of just, like,
awesome.
the game. Really nice.
Yeah. Whoa. What the fuck? And then that map.
An
That's the
actual
last thing I
like
want to see.
an actual metal. Like it's just like a
Pendant.
clip on.
Yeah.
But like it is hit like Edward's like little clasp, like made of metal.
yeah.
A actual like fabric map of the
Yeah. That's what I
Caribbean.
want. Oh, that's so cool.
That's really neat. Like very like I'm gonna frame this at some point. Like
Yeah.
eventually
That's fair.
go up in my background at some point. Just need to like find the right frame for it. And like the one that is like the silliest out of all of them, but it's just kind of like neat is a printout of a shanty lyric list for Burn Blackbeard's Beard. One of the new shanties they added to the Resynced.
You got
And
sheet music.
so it's
That's
like it's a
awesome.
little sheet music of the shanty with like the lyrics and like the instrumental lyrics.
That's really cool.
I was like, damn, I need this collector's edition now.
That's really cool.
Like I know like it is like collector's editions are very like I don't say niche, but like it is a lot. It is like a $200 like purchase,
yeah, yeah.
but like, and some of them are not worth it. Like there are some that I saw that like the Shadows one I thought was atrocious. It was way too expensive, and it was like the only way. Like back in the day, I'm a Steelbook lover. I have a good portion of the Assassin's Creed ones in there, but before all you had to do was like pre-order like the deluxe edition and you got it. Shadows made it so like the Steelbook was the only way to get it, and it was like almost $300. It was like that's not worth it. It is a little bit the same with this, but I feel like for $200, what you're getting is like you are getting the deluxe version of the game. You are getting the Steelbook. You're getting all of this. Like, if you're into Black Flag,
man,
like the statue alone, you'll find this on eBay for more than what the collector's is going to be worth. Like, let's be honest.
I was gonna say,
but no,
there's statues of that look just like that are like thousands because they're like made of the highest possible material. But
yes,
yeah, that's
it was made. It was made with the very fabric that Edward Kenway's cloak was made out of, or something like that. But no, this is my show and tell. My justification for spending way too much money.
Love it.
It's awesome.
So good you'll be able to play that disc in 2 years on your PlayStation 6.
No, like I thought about this. The moment I opened this, I thought to myself, like, wow, this is probably the last PS5 disc I'm ever gonna own.
Wild.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Mega Collector's Edition. It's been so long since I've like been urged to buy one. And I got hit with the same shit you did this week, where it's like the game's out, but I'm waiting for my stuff to get here, so I can't play with everyone else. My last one was BioShock Infinite. Was the last collector's edition I bought.
Oh, wow.
That shit took like a week and a half later.
Oh yeah, that one had a really bad release window. I remember that.
Yeah, the cool Songbird statue though. That thing's dope. With that, we'll officially do us for 123 of the download queue. Let us know your thoughts, impressions with Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced in the comments below if you're on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're at. Drop us a like, comment, follow, share the show around. You can find Brian at United We Nerd / Keep It at Nerdy Podcast / United We Rip, doing all sorts of things over there. Cards, Gundams, whatever it be. Kyle, you miss Assassin's Creed. I don't even need your life for the foreseeable future. Pirating.
I
We'll
only
be
went for a
back.
month, okay? I'm being economical.
That's fine. That's fine.
And
We'll be
I
back.
didn't think I'd get this into it, so
We talked about it. You said you didn't think you would. It'd be a top 10 now.
now I'm like, Shadows was great. Why did I not think this was gonna hit for me? I liked it.
We will be back next
Destiny
week.
Who?
Destiny Who on the 18th for a regular show, keeping it going throughout the summer months. Till then, happy gaming. Be good to each other. Stay safe.